On this occasion, yet another chemical attack. And since the Syrian government has declared we have no chemical weapons, and we have to follow the Sunnah. And the Sunnah is to accept that they are speaking the truth until you have evidence, clear evidence to the contrary. The Syrian government says we have no chemical weapons. And number two, the Syrian government is now winning the war in Syria against the armed insurgents who are getting all their state-of-the-art weapons from you know who, Santa Claus, and all the funds to continue their bogus jihad from you know who. It is Santa Claus providing all the weapons, and the Syrian government is defeating this bogus jihad. So why should the Syrian government, at a time when they are winning the war, why would they resort to this calamitous kind of way of waging war with chemical weapons? You have to have the intellectual acumen of a donkey. Excuse me. You have to have the intellectual acumen of a donkey to believe that the Syrian government has done this. The news media have immediately accused the Syrian government, and this is what they've been doing for how long now? Even before an investigation is conducted to determine who is responsible for an act of terrorism. The news media and the governments of the Western world are immediately proclaiming that we are the ones who did it. We who are resisting then, and Imran Hosein is part of those who are resisting them. We are responsible. We are one community of people who are resisting the greatest oppressors that mankind has ever known. Whether we are Christian, or we are Jews, or we are Hindus, or we are Muslims, or we don't follow any religion. Once we are resisting the greatest oppressors that mankind has ever known, we constitute one community. And so they have the right to now demand that the United States respond with a military response. And when Donald Trump responded as he did, and I think he knows that it's a lie, I think he knows that it's a lie, but he has no choice because he's proven that he's not a statesman. No. He's not a leader. No. The President of the United States of America, I'm sorry to say so, is less than a schoolboy. And this is a schoolboy with the most dangerous weapons of history in his hands. So then what can we anticipate from what has just occurred? That is the question that you are all of you asking me, and what is my answer? My answer is that nuclear war, NATO's nuclear war on Russia, not Russia's nuclear war on NATO, not at all. Because Russia does not want war, no. It is NATO which is lusting for war. And if you don't do that, if you don't understand that, I say to you, go back to school. Go back to school if you don't know that. NATO is lusting for war on Israel's behalf. And now, because of what has just happened in Syria, I believe nuclear war is now inevitable. That I believe that Donald Trump was truthful when he declared that he would like to have good relations with Russia. I hope you heard that. If you differ with me, that's your choice. But I have the freedom to express my opinion, and you have the freedom to differ with me. If you believe that Donald Trump was telling a lie, a nasty lie, when he said, I want to have good relations with Russia, you better have the evidence on Judgment Day when Donald Trump asks Allah for judgment on the subject. Whether Donald Trump is going to heaven or to hell is not the subject. No. The subject is every single evil act will have to be accounted for on Judgment Day. And if you accuse someone of lying, you better have the evidence of it. Do you hear me? So they say that Donald Trump is lying. And I say no, I believe he is speaking the truth. And I will continue to say people are speaking the truth until I have evidence to the country, unless there's evidence that someone is a habitual liar. I believe that he is speaking the truth when he said that I want to have good relations with Russia, but they don't want that. Those who control power in the United States of America do not want good relations with Russia. So even if the democratic system were to produce a leader like Donald Trump, who wants to have good relations with Russia, they will not allow it. And I believe you are correct. This is precisely what has happened. If he did not respond with this military attack on Syria, they would have impeached him and he would have lost his job as a president. This is why I say he's a schoolboy. Because a true leader would stand up, even against his own people. Stand up for what is right and truth. I will refuse to sell my integrity just to hold on to a job. And so now we have to prepare. I'm sorry to say so. I'm sad about it. I don't like war, and most certainly I don't like nuclear war. But I feel sad to say, yes, this is what is coming. Nuclear war is coming.